class is about. No, this is it's okay, I can talk loud, you know what I'm saying?
Try.
So you turn up the vibes, I'll turn up my voice. What's up, guys? I'm Daisha Quinn. I'm sitting here at KW The Lake. So I'm going to introduce this class is about. He's on my ALC. He himself has came in as a new agent and has shown that it is possible to start from nothing and make it to 6 figures your first year in real estate. Not only was he able to do it his first year in real estate, he's on track to do it again and hopefully triple and double it and keep growing here with us. And he's definitely mastered, for you guys in the room, he's definitely mastered his craft and being able to do that. He showed that it's possible to get into a new industry and absolutely crush it. So without further ado, retire. So I was kidding. All right, yay.
Well, welcome home. Welcome home. That's what I say to everyone that walks into my house as they walk in and say, welcome home. And to add to that, as of August 30th, we did hit the 6 figures this year. So, exactly what you are doing here and those on Zoom, which is attending these classes. Not only attending these classes, but actually putting the information to use. So, you have a listing, now what? What do? You're making phone calls like Manny's making. You set that appointment, you knock out your presentation, they sign, you walk out, you talk with this, yes, I got a listing. Now what do? What do? Anyone tell me one thing that you do once you get the listing? What do?
You upload it.
You upload it to the MLS.
There you go.
You upload it to the MLS. So I've uploaded it to the MLS. So what does that mean? That means I'll probably give some information to my clients on how to be photo at home, how to make it photo ready. We've got photos. We now put it on the MLS. So now it's time to do what? Have an open house. So can someone tell me what WIIFM means? What's in it for me? That is correct. Can everybody say it together? What's in it for me?
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me?
So what's in there for me?
So what's in it for you? I'll tell you what's in it for you. If you pay attention to this class, it's about 150, maybe 200 slides. I'll breeze right through. No, just kidding. Stop the many slides. But if you pay attention to this class, take a few notes, apply just 1 or 2 things, I promise you have the potential to earn 6 figures in the real estate business if you do the work. Does that sound fair?
Yep.
More than fair. More than fair, I like that. So, in any classroom setting, there is an evaluation or a test. So how will you be evaluated? Can someone guess how you be evaluated?
Participation.
Participation, okay. How will you ultimately be evaluated?
When you practice.
When you practice it, okay.
A review.
Paycheck.
What's that?
A review.
A review?
Paycheck.
A paycheck. That's the ultimate grade. When you open and close the escrow, that's how you'll be evaluated. If you're actually learning in class and applying it. So open and close escrows is what we want to do. So that's how you be evaluated. So, this is our agenda. We're just going to cover these 4 things, 4 simple things that give you a basis of having a successful open house. I'm going to start with how to advertise your open house, what to bring to an open house, how to work the open house, and ultimately working on final. You don't have one working on final. That's our agenda for the day. So before we go any further, if you have any questions, those at home and those in class, on our agenda, what we cover, what's in it for you, by taking notes and applying it, how you be evaluated. Any questions whatsoever? No questions? Okay, let's get the point started. All right. How to advertise your open house. We heard it, put it on the MLS. So not just put it on the MLS, But there's a tab on the MLS obviously for open houses, and you're gonna put it on the MLS, and you're gonna put the open house in, you're gonna put your dates in. What is this gonna do? Populate your proper websites. So if you're like I am, you have clients that are like heavy on Zillow, heavy on Redfin, and they say, what? I didn't see an open house on Redfin, like, are we gonna do an open house? Yes, we're gonna do an open house. So you utilize the open house on the MLS to advertise your open house. Next, door knocking. Can someone tell me what 20 to 40 means? 20 to 40, we're gonna participate today. We're gonna get our engine. 20 to 40 doors, not just 20 to 40 doors.
Face to face,
What do you mean by face to face?
them opening the door and talking to them.
Okay, yes. So we're gonna do door knocks. 20 to 40 doors to the left, 20 to 40 doors to the right. You're gonna cross the street. 20 to 40 doors to your left, 20 to 40 doors to your right. Our sellers, depending on what your actual clients need, you know, some may need, hey, you can move on, you can move out ASAP, or some may be like, you have some time.
Okay.
So they give you the opportunity to advertise your open house by doing mailings. You can do a coming soon mailer. You can do it's now active, come see it mailer. Or you can even sell about like some of us do here. You pretty much dial all those homes. So what you're doing, you're doing multiple touches. So you knock on those doors, you send them mailers, and then you give them a phone call and invite them to the open house. So hopefully, with all that being done, you generate some buzz for the open house. There's a few other things that you can do. Who has partners in their business, i.e. title reps, lenders? Title reps and lenders. Has anyone actually had their lender door knock for them? Actually, at my last open house, someone who was trying to earn my business, I said, well, okay, what can you do for me? I can give you clients, and you can, you know, right. It's like contracts, but what are you gonna do to help grow my business? Listen, when I do the reps out, to door knock the neighborhood. So they literally went out and door knocked my neighborhood. So the next touch, you know, would be obviously myself, and actually, you know, open escrow and the property. Signage is very important. So obviously, you want a for sale sign if that's allowed in certain communities. Actually, some clients don't even want to sign. So if they don't want to sign in front of the home, it's very important on the days of your open house that you actually, hey, you paint the town red, as they say. Literally paint the town red. So what I particularly like to do, the main intersection going into their community or going into their home, I like to put a sign on each corner. So no matter where your car stops, you can actually see my sign. And then I put a sign, one intersection up, one intersection down, and basically I walk the signs all the way to my open house. So pretty much as you're driving, the directions say turn left, you'll see picture me saying turn left. The directions say turn right, you'll see picture me saying turn right. All the way up to the front door of my open house. So we want to make sure that it's visible. I've actually had a lot of individuals come to my open houses and they see it on the internet, they were just out and about. And if anyone have clients like I was in the past, I used to love to see open houses. You know, hey, we're not doing anything on the weekend, let's welcome to the open house. So that signage is very important. You'll be amazed of the content that you can get by having appropriate signage. Any questions?
How many signs do you put up?
I put up anywhere from 15 to 20 signs. It depends on where the home is. It really does. And if it's in a congested area, then I may put more signs. It also depends on if there, I'm just gonna be honest, if there's other agents out, I might strategically put something in front of their signs, I don't know, but. So it depends on, but 15 to 20 signs. Any other questions? All right, moving on.
I have a question, Gabe.
Yes, sir.
Do you, for instance, do you put them up like a day before overnight, like you can do that weekend?
That is a great question. I actually do them the night before, or at least early in the morning. The goal who puts your signs is actually to be out before who's out. So when someone gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday to get the workout in, they see your signs. So if I'm doing open house on Saturday and Sunday, I'll put them out either Friday night or early Saturday morning, and then I'll leave them out the entire weekend until that last open house is done, and then I'll pick them up on the way out. That's a great question.
Members,
Yes.
actors, and company suit, where do you put those up?
Like say for instance, today's the 4th. And I have an open house is gonna be active on the 15th, so that means I need to have them in the mail ASAP. So they'll get to that neighborhood of my target audience saying coming soon. So preferably they'll get them a week before, so they'll know, hey, here's a week before. And then you knock on those doors a couple days before. And then you come to the office and make those phone calls, hey, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, W2, address, we'll love to see you. Any more questions? Yes, ma'am.
What is circle down?
Circle dialing is basically calling those individuals that you're not, simply calling a circle a perimeter around your property. Maybe a half mile out, maybe a mile out, goes 20 to the left and to the right of your property, you know those numbers and follow those numbers. And title rep can help you get all that information. You're looking for the ability to circle dial, you get all that information from the title rep.
When is it the time for door knocking?
That is a great question, when they're home. So you knock those doors with legal fire, they're not there, and you circle back and maybe they're out, you know. So what I have done in the past, it's strategic for me, because I do it twofold. I tell my clients I'm gonna do something, so I want them to see me doing it. So if they're going to work, I want them to see me hanging out clouds and knocking on doors.
He said,
When they're coming in from work, you're like, oh, he said he was gonna put some online, they see me, so. That's really how I gauge it. I'm not too concerned. I want my clients to be happy at all times. I want to make sure that I do everything that I tell them I'm going to do. So, does it answer your question?
Yeah.
All right, what to bring to an open house? Sign-in sheets. As you walk in, you saw my welcome, please sign in. Property flyers, and we're going to do a little McKnight. She's going to do a little show and tell here. All right, sister. You want to bring comps of properties in the area. We'll discuss that as we go through everything on the list there. Step up and step down properties. Can someone tell me what a step up and step down property is? Anyone? Step up or step down property? More expensive? Yeah. Absolutely. Some people may not have the heart to tell you. They may just say, oh, it's too small, too big, but really they can't afford it. So when you start having those conversations, as we will discuss in shortly, you'll find out. You'll find out exactly what you want.
Really in-person.
And your kit of things, a packet that has properties. I have properties 100,000 to 200,000 below. I have properties that are similar. I have some couple hundred thousand above. And then just for giggles, I got a couple $1 million properties. You know, because you literally never know who's walking in the door. All right, so starting here, as you can see, this is not actually a system itself, but I actually have a air purification system. I don't need it for every open house, obviously, but who's ever had clients that had pets? And even though the place is clean and it looks nice, when you walk in their front door, that's the first thing you smell. So this actually goes into the largest room. Now, mind you, also now I have breeze air fresheners. You know, so bathrooms. Oh, I forgot rooms. Obviously, one in the restroom, one in the living room. If they have a gym, definitely one in their gym, or whatever room they use as a gym. And then one in the play areas. You know, I have them all over the house. Literally, you can hear the ocean when you walk in. So I got jazz playing, I got the ocean breeze smell, and I want them to relax and stay in the open house as long as possible, and kind of envision themselves relaxing. Next, we have a cleaning kit. Like if you've been in real estate for more than 2 days, or had at least one client, at least one listing, you know that you're all things to them. I even have covers. Call it my little pet peeve, but I hate walking around the house and seeing broken covers. So, you know, you can get them in bulk. It costs maybe 10, 20 cents to replace them.
What is that, sir?
Oh,
Can
these
we
are
for the outlet?
outlet covers.
Oh,
Outlet covers. So outlet covers, your basic cleaning supplies. I even have, you know, a Swiffer in my trunk with the Swiffer pads. I have a little tool bag in my trunk because, you know, covers. You can get smoke detectors in bulk for like $19 a pop. I mean, you don't have to go out loud like that, but I have to make sure that every basis is covered in open houses. So when you go walk into a place and you're chirp, chirp, no one can even like focus because the smoke detectors go off. So obviously the first thing you do is like have some batteries with you, you store a battery in there. The chances of the property is over 10 years old, then the life that fire smoke detector is probably trash. So I just replace it with something that and that's part of my skill when I go into my consultation as well. You know, a lot of the small handyman stuff, I do free of charge, you know. Next we have our step-up binder. So like I mentioned, I have printouts, openings and closings, because you may have some deep personalities come in and be like, oh, why did you come in this price? Oh, 3 properties within 2.1 miles from here. Actually goes to this particular price. The one down the street closes in this one, the one across the street closes in this one. They're similar like size, similar like square footage, bedrooms. This is how we came to our price. That alleviates all those questions. And then, like I mentioned, I have all the properties that I discussed. So when you have the conversation, you can move on. I actually have fire consultation, listing consultation. Sometimes you're in an open house, someone's eager, you know, you have a real good conversation, you find out that they're a buyer, but they also have a property list. So you can go through the presentation with them, if you have time. I would also like to mention at your open houses, if possible, I'm gonna take a side note here because this came up earlier in the conversation for safety. So when all possible, have a party at your open houses. Twofold. Safety being a priority reason, but also, if I just show the property to someone and they really want to see it, they're a buyer, how can I send it to them? How can I show it if I'm by myself? I can say, okay, well, if you wait 4 more hours, I'll take you down the street. You know, there was like 3 other properties. You know, they're gonna be like, oh, really, open house? Or so like, hey, assistant, whoever it is, like, hey, we go. You got the helm for the next 30 minutes or so, we're gonna go show properties. I actually opened up my property and push on one, and then they say, hey, can you access other properties in the area? Because there's like a 5 area, and I showed all the properties. And then I got them sent over to one of our lenders now, and they're getting qualified on the bank statement now. So it works. It works. You got the question.
But you take them with them being licensed, right? With the license and show the property. I mean, you
Well, they can't divulge information, but they can house it and hand out paperwork. And they can say, oh, the agent just stepped away, he'll be back in 15 minutes. But in the meantime,
A little bit grayer. Good.
I mean,
As long as they
they're
don't
not
talk
talking,
price,
they're not talking any price, they're not talking numbers.
just like an office.
Yeah, exactly. But if ideally, sit open house with a lender. I've said open house with a lender. Someone comes in, we put it on the spot, right off on the spot. Actually, I did one with, he was actually on the phone, but we got someone qualified. And we were so efficient, it scared him, he didn't want to submit the offer because we didn't qualify and get the offer at the second time. So, but it does work. It does
She's
work.
not here. That's what I don't get.
Okay, next we have feedback. I'll shout out our title rep Lisa. She actually gave me these. So you don't have to do a lot of spending. You give your title reps, you give your lenders a lot of business, they should be contributing to your business as well. So I said, hey, I have a couple of open houses. Can you give me support? Can you give me some material? Absolutely.
What is that?
This is open house feedback. So as I have individuals come and actually sign in, I'll go over that. This is basically them telling me, perfect here, they rate the home. So I get information. You can use this information when you're talking about to your clients about how well the open house went. There's a place on here about, you feel this home is a bargain, price is right, overpriced. You get enough of these overpriced, and you start having a conversation about lowering the price, you know, you have some weight behind the conversation. Because 15 people have loved your home, they gave it all these high ratings, but they leave so value.
So I'm sorry, when I did an open house for this guy I had before,
Mhm.
I did a text to the actual agent asking for feedback on that, or do that.
Well, I do this for in the open house, like I speak, and I'm using this as a way to engage. So I want to have conversations. So I have them sign in, I say, hey, and I have, as you can see here, since you asked, those Starbucks gift cards. You know, there's a gift.
With your face on front?
No, it's not.
Oh.
I ain't that gangster.
I was like, dang. Remember me, look. All me.
No, I love places like that. Starbucks power. But then I also have the buying process posted for business cards. So you can sit at the counter and give them a real quick, what the buying process is like. You know, you get a lot of first time buyers, a lot of people who are looking to buy, but you know, they're not ready, maybe 6 months from you're out. And then you ask them, hey, I think we're gonna explain the buying process to you. And you usually get a client, like if they're brand new buyer and no one's ever told it to them, they're gonna leave with your card, you probably gonna exchange information before they walk out the door, and you're gonna set up a full consultation with them, within minutes of them leaving, and you gotta find it. You gotta go. All right, so that's kind of how, I have things set up and displayed. That's pretty much what I bring to my open house. How to work the open house. Okay, some of these things are already covered. I always have something nice playing, kind of keep the energy live, but I don't use words, but I don't want anybody to be offended. You may have someone who may be religious, you know, someone may say something that they disapprove of, and it changes the mood. Like if someone walks in the area and they get a bad attitude, it affects the whole place. So nice music, you know, jazz, pretty much everybody likes smooth jazz. You know, even if it's not their cup of tea, they'll be okay with it, you know, for a period of time. You know, you go to Starbucks, this is probably what's playing. You know, you go to any kind of lounges, if you go to Barnes and Nobles, you're here, you know, playing in the background. So the ambiance is very important. Conversations, this is one thing that's very important. You don't just want to fly by the seat of your pants. You want to build a rapport with everyone in your open house, but they want to be a method to the madness. So show of hands for all my LP Mama users. LP Mama.
LP Mama?
LP Mama. That's the Mama. At the end here, you can all grab one for this display. So this is gonna lead you in the conversation. You've heard of the four script, correct? Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. LP Mama is a conversation you have at your open house. This is gonna allow you to gauge if they're serious or not, if they have engagement or not. So the conversation goes a little like this. Hey, welcome home. You're gonna laugh and say, oh, no, it's not for me, it's for my sister behind me. This happened to me this past weekend. And Sway is actually online. I was hoping he was gonna be here because I was gonna probably put him on the spot, but he actually attended one of the houses this weekend. So this conversation actually happened this past weekend. So, hey, so what do you like about the office? And what do you like about this location? Oh, you know, the fact that it's kind of big, you know, she's a single mom, so, you know, the security area. Yes, it's a great place. What about the price point? Have you been in this price point for long? Like, no, but you know, this is pretty good. You know, 615, 16 is probably good. Okay, so I know they're looking for insert because of security. So I already kind of got into their motivation, which is the M. The first thing, I kind of know the motivation already, but I know the location is very important because of security. I know the price point. You know, they're good on that particular price point. If they say, oh, this is too high for me, if they say, oh, this is too low for me, or I'm not really interested, you know, go a little bit farther. But I go from their motivation to ask them, okay, so you mean to tell me that you have to move in the next 6 weeks? You know, so I guess you ain't offers yet. So that leads to the agency. So if they say, no, we haven't seen any offers, then I don't say, I'll be your agent. I say, oh, so when the time is right, is there a realtor that can help you with that? So they'll be like, oh, no. Well, then I can help you with that. So I asked them if they have an agent without asking them, hey, can I be your agent? Next, we're gonna go to the market sold. You know, you have to move in 6 weeks. You know, you love this area. So are you going to buy cash? Are you going to mortgage it? Like, what is the situation? No, we're probably gonna have to get a loan to purchase it. Okay, great. Are you working with a lender? No. I can help you with that also. So I know that they love the location. I know the price is great. I know they're motivated. I know that they don't have an agent currently. I know that they're going to have to be qualified with the lender. So I basically go for setting up the appointment. Now I didn't get a chance to set up an appointment with this particular individual because I had someone else come to the open house. So it was like I was working kind of two conversations at the same time. So I was kind of all over the place. And I was telling Josue, I was like, hey, when the couple, when they went upstairs, man, you should have, went up there, man, there's an opportunity to get some business. Like, no, I'm just sitting up there. I'm like, shit, I don't know, right on right. So I stopped the conversation short because I said, oh yeah, we really love the property, but it's we need a backyard, and this one doesn't have a backyard. We're at a condo. So instead of me being able to go to somebody, hey, I think I have a property for you, I sent them a text message. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to finish our conversation, but I do have some properties available that have a backyard around the same price point. It's also a renewable to have that. I said, would you mind if I sent them to you? Oh, great, yes. Okay, I noticed you didn't provide your email. Could you send your email and I'll send it to you in the next few minutes? She sends over the email. I have my laptop there. MLS. I do it, and I don't send like everything that's in there. I just find like 5 or 6 properties that are similar to, single family homes. You have a yard or a condo with a yard, and then I send them over. And then I don't do anything. I wait to see if she looks at them. So you notice when you send something, unless you do notification,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah. So I noticed that you, I know she took those properties. Are there any other properties that you would like to see? Are there any of those properties you would like to tour? I can set up a private tour for. Yes, we're going to take a look at them and we'll get back to set up the appointment. So that actually works. I've done it. It's something that I pray. I'm not just telling you something I heard. It's something that I know. If you work an open house correctly, I've heard you can turn one listing into 10. But what I can say from personal experience, from this very listing I'm talking about, I've had, it will be 5 transactions out of one listing. So the buyers, the sellers, they actually bought. So that's 1, they bought. Selling their property, that's 2. Because the lender door knocked, someone came in at the open house and was interested in buying a property with, I want to move somewhere else. So we took that actual buyer to a new build community in another city and got them signed up. So now that's 3. Had another lady come by. She said, you know what? I've been thinking about selling, but I just got here. She gave me her life story, told me all of her business, because we set the atmosphere for her to relax at the open house. Long story short, she's a come listen. I actually talked to her today. She's like, hey, let me get settled, probably 6 months, and we'll put it on the market because I just kind of moved because I had to because of her situation. I'm not really happy here. So we'll be selling now. And then Coral, the one, this conversation I just told you about, will be happy to buy. So that's 5 transactions from one open house by working the room, so to speak. Oops, before I go on, any questions? Yeah, me, mama. It's a lot harder to do this when you're trying to instruct them when you're just having a regular conversation with you. But it's so you do the
So the potential buyer walks into the house and you welcome home. And you do the LP mama before they look at the house or after?
You know, what I'm doing is engaging. So some people just, you'll get this. Some people come to your open house and they're like, don't bother me until you look at the house. I don't want to talk to you. You know, I have an agent. You know, you'll get those. Some people are like, oh, this is nice. And you just read their energy. Yeah, oh, this is nice. Sir, ma'am, if I can get you to sign in. And if you do me a favor, I actually have a gift for those that actually receive the property for me. It's something that helps me give information to my clients and great feedback. So if you could fill this out. And I direct them to the, you know, they might ask you some questions. Hey, usually they have an agent, and the agent's the only one that walks in and be like, hey, what's the square footage, what's this, blah, blah, blah. They don't come in and ask you how many bedrooms, blah, blah, blah. They usually come in and they want to look around. You know, atmosphere is right. If it's a hot day, put the air down just a little bit door. So it's really cool when they walk in. So they walk in like, oh my God, thank you. Yes, you know, this is like 110 degrees. Like, so they're like, oh man, you got the drinks. Oh, by all means, get you something to drink. So then those are the ones you have the conversation with. Those are willing to fill out everything. The willing to participate in your open house. They ask you a question. You know, they're not standoffish. They want to build a relationship. They want to talk to you. They'll help you out. Those are you have a conversation with.
So you do the LP mama after they tour the house or?
Yeah, it's from the house. So what do you like about it? It all depends. If I have multiple people there, if someone's doing the house, I may ask some people, so what brought you in today? And they'll say, you know, we're just living in the area. Oh, so what about this area? Location do you like? We like, you know, there's a lot of this area for sale. You know, this price at this point, you know, so I'm talking price. That price is good. So are you looking to buy? Another thing that I'll pass on in there, but buyers lead to sellers. Remember that. Buyers lead to sellers, and I'll explain. Yes,
I
ma'am.
want to put Manny on the spot
Okay.
because Manny picked up a really good deal at an open house. Sorry, but yesterday they asked him if he could sell two of their homes that are in LA. So now you said that, Manny,
Please don't share.
What I say?
tell everybody what happened.
So basically, like how you said it, it's like you take it case by case when you have people come into your open house. Yeah. So in this particular case, they made it super friendly. You know, we just clicked, got off, like it was good. You know, we had a vibe, everything was good. Long story short, she was looking at the home. She liked the home, but then when she found her husband, he didn't like the home. It was too much work to be done. So she was all like, you know what, this is not gonna be it. So that was that. You know, long story short, she had a realtor, whatever. And then that was Saturday. She called me on Wednesday, like at 8. I was like, okay. So I answered, and she's like, hey, we connected with you really well. The agent we're working with, they look at us a little like funky, you know. We just don't appreciate that, but we want you to represent us. Like, shit, hell yeah. But yeah, so then I started seeing her properties, and then this Sunday that just passed, we went out to Emmett. So $850,000 home, and she loved it. So now we're in the process of getting that offer in, and yeah, that's what we're working with. And then yesterday we were going back and forth because she's an older lady. She has to get all her stuff, you know, all her paperwork. She's old school. She doesn't have an email or anything of that. So we're just going back and forth, you know, trying to solve the puzzle. We got the puzzle solved, and now she's telling us that she has 2 other listings that she wants us to help her with.
So that's what I mean about buyers get to listen. Think about it. If you find a buyer for an upgrade, they're gonna have a property to sell. So at certain price points, those buyers usually have properties to sell. So that's why I say buyers lead to listen. And then obviously when you have a listing, you can find plenty of buyers. Any more questions? Type of questions, keep them coming.
Even if they're standoffish, do you make them sign in there?
Absolutely. You do not, hey, you don't come into my open house unless you sign in. Here's the caveat to that. If you're working with an agent, I won't require you to sign in if you have your business card. So I respect other agents if they say, oh, I work for Gabe, here's his business card, because I tell my clients, first off, I don't sell them nowhere without me. You know, if they just happen to see something, I say, hey, give them my business card. Even if it goes to new construction,
Right?
I say, no matter what you do, don't go into new construction without me. If you do go without me, don't sign anything. At the very least, give them my business card and say my agent may be in contact with me. But don't speak to anybody. You walk in, you walk out. You know, so that's how I do that. So that's the caveat to that. If they give me their agent's business card, they don't have to sign it. But outside of that, it's required. What I usually say is like, hey, I need you to sign in. My clients actually require everyone to sign in. And because of this pandemic, should I be exposed or someone who came to this open house is exposed, I need to be able to contact you. So yeah, so they was like, okay, yeah, COVID. You know, so that's on it. Make sure you can read it. You know, I've had those things like that, oh, no problem. And then you look at it, it's like, okay, yeah, that's missing like 2 numbers. But yeah, make sure that they sign it.
What's your price point on the service?
Oh, these are $5 gift cards. You know, once a quarter, go in there and buy like 10 of them, you know, just like, and I do, hey, you're the first one, guess what, you get a gift card, ah! And then those are the ones that I have every month, so actually that, those are the ones I have every month. I get a gift card. Also for the holidays, I give the plastic Starbucks cards. I give those away with the $5 gift card and then a $1 scratcher. So I used to give the $1 scratcher to like kids. I'm like, hey, if you want some money, you know, I should share with me. So those are some other things that I do. All right. So before we talk about where to find open houses, we don't really talk about safety. We didn't talk about safety. I know we had a conversation about it beforehand, and so we're gonna have to put something on the schedule to do open house safety. You know, some of the things that I would like to recommend. My past experience in the military, I was an instructor of Marine Corps martial arts, so someone that included some self-defense. So we did a class here, oh my God, maybe a year ago. It's been a while ago. We taught some basics, but most importantly, in any situation that you're in, run.
Run.
Your body's gonna tell you when something's wrong. You know, pay attention to your intuition. You know, if you're in a situation and someone is a scary character or you just want to feel comfortable, leave the situation. And open houses, ladies, men, if it's a 2-story, let them to the home. Never leave them upstairs and never go to a secluded room by yourself. You say, hey, to the home, if you have any questions, I'll meet you here. And you usually stay in a well-lit area, perfectly to the door, or at least I stand at the island. And just say, hey, if you have any questions, come back down and we answer them. I'm usually standing beside all this stuff. You know, so you have your information. If you're working with viruses, we're talking about safety. Let someone know where you're at. Like, hey, I got an appointment at 2 o'clock. This is where I'm going to be. This is where I'm supposed to be meeting. I'll let you know once I pull up. I'll let you know once we open up the house. And I'll let you know once we leave. You know, hey, in 10 minutes, give me a phone call. You know, sometimes, or you may send me a text, say, hey, call me. You know, that's key words. Hey, call me. It means, you know, some safety characters there. You call, this, and you start giving them, we at this address, da 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 da. Whoever saved it is like, oh yeah, somebody's run away. Maybe whatever I have planned. There are so many things in regards to safety. Best thing to do is just be smart when all possible. Don't do anything by yourself, and always let someone know where you're at. All right. Any safety questions? Sweet.
I actually have a story.
Yes, go ahead.
I went to show properties on Wanda, way in the back, but my GPS told me that it was gonna take me 10 minutes from the one that they wanted to see, and I just had a second one, because I'm coming from LA, so I thought I'm gonna try to show as much as I can. But the street that it wanted to take me through did not go with us, so I had to go around. I ended up in the back, and the buyers were like, we were a minute away from the property. And they just said, no, even if this is a property, like just the way to get into it, they said, no, they left me, I didn't even know they left me. Because they were following me in the car, I said, I have a second one for you. They said, no, we're leaving. As I continued to the property waiting for them, I got out of the car, I had a young man, tatted all the way to his face. Tats, I don't care, I mean, it's not a big deal, but you know, his demeanor looked,
Right.
his eyes were glassy, I was like, I just had the feeling, like what's going on. He's on a motorcycle. He's like, you lost on short properties. And I said, I'm on my way out. He goes, okay, I'll lead you. I'm like, sure, whatever, right? And I'm going by my GPS. He's trying to take me a different way.
Yeah.
And then he says, I know this area. And I'm like, no, my GPS is this way. Like, he was trying to like, what the hell, right? I'm like, it says this way. And he's like, oh, I didn't know that way took you out. I thought you knew the place. But it wasn't like seconds after I had a Jeep behind me as well. It looked like they were working together. And I had that feeling. I mean, my blood was going, I was like, no. They literally followed me. And I was going like 60, 70 mile per hour on curves. I live in a ranch. I know how to do curves. I was like, but the motorcycle was fine with it, that I have a car. I wouldn't let it get in. If anything was to happen, but then when I saw the Jeep, I was like, holy crap. I don't know, I got out of there. Long story short, they followed me till about half a mile before I hit the highway. So that's when I knew they were up to no good. Yeah.
Safety is very important. As realtors, you know that you can actually conceal carry. And I know, there's, up and down, whether you like firearms or not, I'd rather have one and not ever use it than to need one and not have one. That's just me personally. I do not yet have my concealed carry license. Sometimes I pack. I probably shouldn't say that.
But just so y'all know.
Whatever community, some places, it's better safe than sorry. So I will be getting my concealed carry license.
Stay tuned.
I actually already reached out to some individuals that done so. If anyone would like some information on that, probably early next week, I can share the information. All right.
Thank you, guys.
So where can I find an open house? Where can we find open houses?
Social
MLS.
media.
Social media. Okay, where? MLS, yes. What on MLS? You say MLS. You said on MLS, you can find open houses.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me be more clear in my question. Where can you find open houses for you to do?
Oh, yeah, social media.
You ask the office.
There you go.
Facebook thing.
Colleagues, ask the office. You can go to the MLS. You can find vacant properties. And you can ask those agents, like, hey, I noticed your property is vacant. Can I go to the house on Wednesday this time, on Saturday this time? Those are ways you can find open houses. Any questions on how I can find an open house? It's very important. Also, you can hit the phones, find you some buyers that need to sell, and you can have your own open house. Ideally, that's what we want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, open houses work. I want everybody to grab your phone right now. If you have it, pull out your calculator. Pull out your calculator on your phone. We're gonna do a little exercise. We're gonna find out what will actually work and what we think will work right now. Everybody on the phone? Okay, so we're gonna do some standard time here. So we're gonna say you take 2 weeks of your vacation. There's 52 weeks in a year. You take 2 weeks vacation, and then no one really works the week of Christmas and the week of Thanksgiving. So we'll say 4 weeks out of the year you don't work. So that leaves what? 48 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 48 weeks, and we'll say you work 40 hours a week. So let's do the math. How many hours is that a year?
1,820.
What's that?
1,820.
That's right, 1,920 hours. Now let's say, I showed up. Actually, I should buy her. Hurry up. So now let's say, okay, take what you currently earn and divide it by 1920. Just have a real conversation with yourself. What you earn this year and divide it by 1920. And then keep that number for yourself. That's pretty much how much you earn an hour for the year if you work those 2 hours. Now I want you to take that, and I want you to take the income that you desire and divide that by 1920. And see what your time is worth. That's why I'm doing this exercise, because our time is very valuable. I want you to see the value of your time. So at whatever current income you would like to see, would someone like to share what their hourly rate is? At $250K a year in this scenario, the hourly rate is about $130 an hour. At 250, it's about $130 an hour. So in this scenario, you're not working 1,900 hours, you're only working 200 hours doing open houses. This is the median price of homes in America right now. 428 is the average sales price as of yesterday in America nationwide. It's our sales price. So you do 50 weeks of open houses. You do an open house. You do it for 4 hours. You get an average of 3 people coming by. And that's like pretty accurate right now, because if you do an open house, if the property is the right type of property, it's priced right, in about 4 hours, you get about 3 to 5 people in about 4 hours time. Okay, so that's a total of 150 buyers over the course of the year. Okay, you factor in the serious lookers, those who actually live in a lot. So now you have 75 serious buyers. And if you're not coming to McGill's scripting class, Mondays at 9 o'clock, and your conversion rate is only 20%, then what did that leave you at? 15 buyers. So 15 buyers at an average sales price of $428, the total production is $6.4 million. At an average 2.5 commission, minus your cap, you come out with 135K. We don't want to be okay with making 135K a year on 200 hours worth of work. Is that okay? What does that hourly rate say? All day. What does the hourly rate say?
All day, every day.
$678 an hour. That's more than out there. So for 200, some people work 200 hours in a week. But that even equates, trying to get things done. So if you master doing open houses, this is the potential. So when someone calls and asks you to do something that's worth $15 an hour, and you know you're worth $678 an hour, what should you say? Go kick rocks. Go kick rocks. So open houses work. I got this from Steve Ryder's 5 Steps to 50 Million. And my first full year in real estate, my numbers were pretty close to this. So I know it works. I know it works. As a matter of fact, I named a few of them. But the proof's in the pudding, right? People always want to know. I know this is California, but the show me state is very important for people to see. These are paydays. I ate a few, I think there was 18 in there. So I've been in real estate 25 months. So you factor either by 25 by 18, what's that, like 1.3, 1.4, something like that. Somebody do math. 1.25, something. What's that? 1.4. 1.4. So we'll say that's 1.4 months. So that's like 45 days. 45 days. 45. So since I've been in real estate, going to all these classes here at the office, going to all these classes via Zoom, applying things that I've got from Jacqueline, applying things from Phil, from something from everyone that's taught the class here. I've earned a commission about every 45 days since I've been here. So get out, let's do more open houses. Any open house questions?
Are those, I don't get the payments, is that the one they give with the check?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are the paydays in here.
I need them like right there.
Well, the first no, I had a couple of them, but then I'm like, I was gonna make something out of them. And then I was like, you know what, let's just keep it, let's see how many happen. So
You have like 50 in there?
Your lips are God's ears. But, so, any open house questions?
What is the fire color packet there?
I'm glad you asked. Courtesy of our title rep, this is basically explains how we escrow. So we have a bond, and we do a consultation, like, what do you mean when we open up escrow? Ah, glad you asked. I have this great method that you can take home and explain how an escrow. Kurt, I put my stick on everything. I learned that from Patricia because I learned one of the classes she taught here. To where you put your stick on it, you can write it off. So, keep in mind, it's everything.
Your sticker on
Get
it.
it from our treasurer.
You can get this from the title rep, so, hey, put them to work, let them work for you. Ask them a bunch of questions, but what's important is to some assistance, you know? Doesn't take a lot of money to, all this stuff is printed here, so, I mean, you get what, you get like 300 prints a month, something like that. I think it's like 10 cents for the color ones, so.
All right, who's gonna go up and live action role play how to greet someone? Come on. Hey, pick someone.
Pick Randy.
You?
Pick Randy.
Pick someone random and go up there. Sing it.
It could be me. Right? You said.
Derek.
Derek. Yeah.
Derek.
Derek. You gotta take off the glasses.
You guys better be us than money in front of you.
Yeah, so Derek,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh.
I was like,
this house open?
Wait, let me come over here. Yes, sir. George.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Come
Let's
on
have
in.
respect.
Welcome to my open house.
All right, thanks,
Come
thanks,
on
thanks.
in.
Wow, this is nice.
You mind signing in for me?
Oh, sure.
Appreciate it. I got an iPad, I got a piece of paper.
Okay, I'll sign in right here,
There
okay?
we go.
All right.
So Gabriel, that's you?
That's me.
Okay.
That's me, all day long.
What you think? I mean, come around, just
Okay.
take a look.
Okay.
What you think? This is going for 500,000. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. We're in the lovely city of Marietta.
Nice.
I'm Lori cameraman.
I'm not bothering you. I'll let you take a look, and I'll find you in 10 minutes.
That sounds good, sounds good. You got anything that I can, get some information on?
I got flyers. I got flyers.
So hey, I'm back, I got a question about, you know what? The bedrooms are a little small,
A little small.
so, I'm looking for something bigger bedrooms.
There we go. Okay, is there anything else you like? I mean, we married.
Yeah,
Wife,
actually.
anyone?
Yeah, actually, now with kids. Have more kids.
Is 3 bedrooms gonna be enough for you?
It will be enough, I have some other ones that we moving out, so 3 bedrooms will be enough.
Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, so what I would like to do is, let me ask you, how long have you been living?
No, it's just all this weekend.
Just this
We
weekend?
just got out, you know, got some news at work, you know, we're talking about doing some layouts, so I'm trying to downsize.
Okay, you like Marietta.
I love. That's why I came to this house, I love this neighborhood, you know, my friend lives down the street.
Okay, awesome. So you got a little bit of motivation to come over. Friend, you guys golf, basketball, anything?
All that. We've been knowing each other for 20 years, all that stuff.
Awesome. Okay, so let me ask you, is this price range okay for you?
It's good, a lovely price, you know, I was right there where I need to be. You know, once I sell my property, I might just.
Okay. Have you submitted any offers anywhere else?
No, just started looking to.
Okay, agency. Okay, that's awesome. Now, I think it probably might be good that we sit down and we talk. If that's okay with you. Maybe set up an appointment and.
You know, there's an open house down the street that I just want to take a look at. But maybe I somebody by and have a conversation, but you know, gotta have lunch with the wife, So how you gonna handle it?
Well, my assistant is here with me. Now, what I'll do is I'll have. I would have her name here. Okay, let's go take a look at that open house. All right? I'm a realtor, did you know that? So, let's take a look at that. Let's talk a little bit more. Let's maybe set up an appointment, me, you, and your wife can sit down. It doesn't have to be, face to face, but maybe we can do a Zoom. You know, we can work out the schedule. Okay.
I love it.
Okay. Any other questions for me?
No, let's take a look.
Let's roll.
All right.
Let's roll.
Give a round of applause, guys.
Hey, you knocked it out of the park, and realize you don't have to do this in no particular order. You just need the information, so don't get hung up on LP Mama. As I was trying to teach them, I was like, okay, what do I need to do next? And I know we just have the same kind of conversation that they were had, so that was great. Only thing that I would add is that it's like right down the street, so that should be in your binder. The open houses in the area, like every open house in the community down there is in that binder. So, you mean the one on Harvard Way, 109, the 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, it's only 1,300 square feet. This is 15.5. That was only 1,338. Talking about that one?
No.
What's that, being an expert, the knowledge.
Right, absolutely. And so then they say, oh, before you go, let's take a look. Show the binder. This is the one right down the street here. Right around the corner, make a left, right there with the blue door. Yeah, this one right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I can help you.
The blue door.
You know, I don't think they're doing an open house today,
Mm,
but I'll set up probably 2 and 3.
okay. Sweet.
That way you can get to your appointment and I can talk with you and your wife.
Mm.
So you be on time, you don't want to make waiting, man. You be on time to have lunch, and then we'll sit down and then I'll let you show all the other properties in there. Sounds good?
Sounds good, yeah.
If I could add to that, when Gabe basically said the same thing that you said, but you kept saying, maybe if it's okay with you, like you were kind of scared to just go in for it, and here he just told you what you're gonna do. We're gonna go through this, we're gonna do that, then I'm gonna meet with you and your wife, okay, cool, and then they basically have no option. When you were doing it, it was very like, well, maybe I don't wanna bother you, if it's okay with you, and so you're giving him the option to say like, well, you are.
A soft close versus a hard.
Yeah.
Don't let them say no.
Always be close.
Always be.
Always.
ABC.
Well, okay, well, how about the appointment part, was that? Because maybe I can close within that, is that okay?
Look at. So there would be multiple closes, there would have been, let's go to the open house, would have been a kind of close, asking for the appointment you're closing, doing it on Zoom, or I forget what you said, but there's different moments in there where you can just tell them what you're gonna do,
Okay,
instead of asking them. And then
okay.
they'll tell you if they don't want to.
Yeah.
You know, but I think at least who he was portraying would have been like, cool, like, let's do it. But if you don't close them, you won't know.
Yeah, cool, I appreciate that.
Love it. Any more questions?
Good job for going up there. You know what I mean? It's just hopping up there without a
And
nurse.
by the way, he killed it.
Yeah, you did amazing. I know in real life, without us staring at you, you would have done a lot better too, you know, without us all beaming at you.
So I don't think I plug that in. Hey, I would encourage you all to go to Steve's class. The
Yeah.
5 steps of 50 million.
You should all be in
You
it.
get a lot of great information. Actually, in that class, the next 2 weeks is going to be covering open houses. So he'll go into great detail about what to bring to an open house. He'll also talk about an open house checklist. So he'll tell you what to bring when you actually go to open houses. So when I actually to open houses, I have a checklist and I say, oh, they don't have any signs. Right? They don't have any of this. They don't have any of that. You know, so just to gauge to see what's going on. You'll be surprised. The majority of times, you'll find they may have an open house flyer, or they may just print it from the MLS. They may have a couple of papers on the counter, and then, which I did not cover, they may be sitting down watching TV and like, hey, go check it out, let me know if you like it. You know, I typically don't sit down in open houses. If someone's in there, I never sit down. You know, I do bring my laptop because, you know, if you got some work, you understand that, but put it in a situation where you can close it down and you can address them and give them your undivided attention, you know, at all times. But sitting on the couch saying, yeah, check it out, let me know if you like anything, you You know, that's okay, but if you actually wanna, you know, $678 an hour, that's not how you do open house. You know, that's not $678 an hour activity, sitting on the couch saying, go take a look at the problem.
Just remember, guys, it's taking time away from you and your family. Like, you are sitting there, I know you probably went over this already. But how many hours are you spending there that you could be doing something else? Your time is valuable, so make the most out of it. You know, you have another partner, the door knocker, I heard you say that. I do the same thing. Like, I'll partner with the lender that can go door knock, and then I'll still door knock, and it's so much easier to say I'm hosting an open house on the street, you guys.
Yeah.
Such an easy thing to do. Did you go over that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, I apologize.
I didn't talk about actually the script for that, we're right at an hour, but
Yeah.
just real brief. Knock on the door. I say a few things. I say, hey, how's it going, Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Hey, I'm inviting you to Mr. and Mrs. Jones open house. I know it's not one in the room, but I promised them that I invite you. So they want to do like the entire neighborhood. So you're gonna be a VIP guest. You're gonna actually get a chance to put it home before it actually hits the market. So that's your VIP open house for the neighborhood, for those who go now. So you get them, they get to see it before anybody else. And guess what? You get the opportunity to pick your neighbor. They'll say, what do you mean pick your neighbor? Well, let me tell you, about 80% of people move into an area because they either know someone who lives in the area, they either work with someone that lives in the area, or they share something, like they work with the same church or something like that, or the schools in the area. So this is a great opportunity for you to pick your neighbor. So come on by, Saturday at 11 to 2. Come around, we're gonna have some drinks, we're gonna have some cupcakes, we're gonna have some great music. It's a chance to meet your neighbors and then get the opportunity to pick your neighbors. Sounds good? Okay. Go to the next door.